Why do you not sell lab-grown diamonds? What's the harm?
As a jeweler, I would only like to sell something what I personally wear myself. A natural gemstone is a natural gemstone because the kind of energy it holds into it, because it took about million of years to create.
Many brides to be वो एक स्ट्रगल होता है उनमें अपनी आउटफिट और ज्वेलरी को मैच करने का. How can they overcome that?
They both are different kind of investments. Some people you will meet, they are crazy about the kind of lehenga they want to buy. And some women, when you meet them, they are only focused about the jewelry.
Jewelry at no making charge, jewelry free of making charge, jewelry at 1% making charge. ये concept क्या है? Is it real or how does that work?
It seems so tempting. And I'm sure I wouldn't say it's a trap, but I fail to understand that if there's no making charges involved, are they not giving anything to their karigars?
Welcome to Jewelry Insider with Shan Chawla. Today I have a self-made jeweler with me, an industry expert, Nidhi. Nidhi Sablok, her brand herself, sitting in front of me. How are we doing, Nidhi?
Thank you so much, Shan, for having me. I'm so elated to be a part of this talk show.
Same here. And before we start the conversation, I love everything you have done today with yourself with jewelry.
Thank you.
Can you just give a top to down about your jewelry to the viewers out there? What are you wearing? What are the stones? A bit about it.
So, I believe jewelry has to be flaunted. If you're not flaunting your jewelry, you're not doing justice to your pieces.
Okay.
Um, uh, I want, and I am a maximizing thing because I love maximizing everything larger than life.
Yeah.
Because that is what life is all about.
Definitely.
Adding colors to your aura. Even before you talk, even before you greet yourself, people should just see you and they should know that, they know already so much about you.
That is true. That
Yes,
is very
so
true.
I am wearing one of my favorite pieces today because.
You can show that.
Yes, so I'm wearing one of my favorite pieces today. I'm wearing one of a cocktail chandelier ring, and I'm like trying to flaunt a brooch here, and then I'm wearing like
Stag tennis chain. I love it. I
tennis
love that. I'm
three
probably going to
chain
steal that, to
strings.
be honest.
All yours. Let me know. I can remove it once the talk show is over. Let me have my pretty pictures and then. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Moving down to your journey, you have a pretty interesting story, to be honest, how your jewelry love made you into a jeweler. Would you like
Yeah.
to tell that story about your mom and go ahead with that?
Yes. I completed my diamond grading. I'm a GIA graduate, and uh, I asked my mom, "Ma, I need your jewelry pieces. I want to wear them." There was some family wedding happening. Mom gave me her jewelry pieces, and I did not like any because
Understand it. Outdated,
because
maybe?
because they were not nicely made and the quality was nice.
Okay.
I took mom's jewelry and without her noticing it, I got everything melted. All the diamonds separately, all the gold separately. Got hold of few karigars because that's how I started working. I gave them the designs which I wanted to create, and I got new pieces made out of those.
Okay.
I took those to my mom, and I don't know whether she was more angry or whether she was more happy because she was like, "Where is my jewelry?" And I said, "Ma, this is your jewelry." And so that's where my journey like actually started, and then from there I started flaunting those pieces. My sisters, my friends, they started asking me where are these pieces from, and then they started giving me their pieces, and that's how my journey started 10 years back.
So that one leap of faith changed everything after that.
Absolutely, that's how I think I'm sitting here today with you.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, understanding the fact that you're very spiritual in the fact, and I know that you do not follow some gemstone per se in astrology, but in an overview, एस्ट्रोलॉजी एक ज्वेलरी इंडस्ट्री में क्या रोल प्ले करता है एंड हाउ बिग?
As a jeweler, I would recommend this to most of the jewelers. As a jeweler, I would recommend this to almost every jeweler that please do your homework well. Please read your Vedas, Upanishads, learn astrology, learn numerology, not because you want to sell products or you want to sell gemstones. You should learn this so that you can help human beings around and suggest them what is good and wrong for them.
Yeah.
Like a lot of clients, they come to me and they ask me, Nidhi, what gemstone should we wear? And I personally tell them that according to my belief, I don't believe in gemstones.
Okay.
I believe in a Rudraksh because I have experienced it myself. I have been wearing a Rudraksh since about 4 5 years now, and the kind of energy exchange a Rudraksh gives to you, it takes you from so much of chaos to stillness to calmness. It's a completely different experience, and only by talking you can't experience it. You have to experience it yourself.
Okay. So holding
Yeah.
that thought about Rudraksha and gemstones,
Yeah.
to simplify it for our consumers,
Yeah.
difference between Rudraksh versus a gemstone
Yeah.
in the jewelry aspect and the astrological aspect, how
Right.
would you derive both of them?
Okay. So, okay, if I would want to put it astrologically, whenever it is involved, there is a lot of fear created around it. That if you will not going to wear this gemstone, this will going to happen. There are, a lot of fear is created around all
Okay.
of that. If you wear a neelam, make sure that it suits you. Only then you can wear it. You can't wear it otherwise.
Okay.
So there are a lot of I wouldn't say myths, but there are a lot of talks. Those are coming around gemstones. You can't wear a ruby, so it's like based out of your astrological chart,
Okay.
that what kind of a gemstone only suits you. If you
Okay.
wear something that doesn't suit you, might give you maleficent effects.
Okay.
It might not be beneficial for you. But when I compare these gemstones from a Rudraksh has no negative effects.
Okay.
Yeah, so if somebody asks me whether to buy a gemstone or a Rudraksh, I would say Rudraksh will help you get your energy back into your system. It'll help you to ground your energy. Once that is grounded, you will automatically attract the gemstone you're supposed to wear.
Okay.
But first thing is you have to yourself understand what you want to wear or what you are capable of or what kind of an energy can you handle.
That is true. Um, we were talking on the call that day, and I asked you one question which I was quite curious about. कि जूलर्स है ना, काफ़ी कॉर्पोरेट जूलर्स बोलते हैं कि ज्वेलरी एट नो मेकिंग चार्ज, या ज्वेलरी फ्री ऑफ मेकिंग चार्ज, ज्वेलरी एट 1% मेकिंग चार्ज. ये कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है? इज इट रियल और हाउ डज दैट वर्क?
So, whenever nowadays you open a newspaper, there's a big article mentioning there's no making charges, there's that. At first glance, as a jeweler myself, it seems so tempting. Okay, and I'm sure I wouldn't say it's a trap, but I fail to understand that if there's no making charges involved, are they not giving anything to their karigars? They might not be taking it as making charges, but they would be taking somewhere from some other sources.
fees, yeah.
I'm sure if you are a businessman and if you're a jeweler, you would be charging from the consumer eventually. But it depends from which, dissections are you charging from. Either they would be using different kind of alloys which are not good enough, or I'm sure there must be some kind of malfunctioning there. So
Okay.
as a jeweler myself, I don't agree to it. Like when we design jewelry pieces, we are extremely transparent with our consumers.
Okay.
We make it a point that they should know what they are paying us for.
Okay.
What is the bifurcation for diamonds, for gold. So I strongly believe that as a consumer, you must know who is your jeweler and which is the human being behind that brand, which is very important, because that's where the entire trust comes in.
That's I think a really great understanding of how these things work.
Yes.
And go around the corner. Enough about other corporates. I love talking about, or I love talking for the brides. I love giving perspective to the brides. अगर कोई bride को अपनी शादी के लिए jewelry बनाना है, how long would that process be, since you cater to a lot of brides?
Yeah. So I believe that as a jeweler, again, we like to spend time with our clients. I would like to spend time with my bride, understanding the kind of person she is. What exactly is she looking for? Having few consultations with her, understanding her budget, her time frame, probably if she's already decided with her lehenga. So all of those aspects are important. The kind of family she's coming from, the kind of taste she has, and then from that aspect to it probably takes about 2 months of an entire exercise where we also believe that we don't meet the client again and again, because what happens is आप एक बार ये jewelry बहुत बारी किसी को दिखा दो ना तो वो interest चले जाता है.
True.
So we believe if we have done our homework, we have met them couple of times, then we would like to show them the final product when it's ready, and we would want her to come experience it. Because jewelry is all about experiences.
Yes.
Like what are you feeling when you're wearing it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Living
like
the
for
jewel-
example, if today I'm wearing these jewelry pieces, it gives you a different high altogether.
Yeah, living the piece.
Your complete aura just changes. It just the vibration like shifts.
That is true.
Yeah,
And going towards Northern Brides,
yeah.
आजकल मिनिमलिज्म काफ़ी आ चुका है ज्वेलरी में. नॉर्दर्न ब्राइड्स क्या हैवी गोल्ड ज्वेलरी प्रेफर करती है कि मिनिमलिस्टिक ज्वेलरी प्रेफर करती है? व्हाट डू यू हैव कम अक्रॉस?
I come from a very old school thinking where for me, gold jewelry is a non-negotiable. Because I think wedding, I would say this to all the brides who are getting married, please do not negotiate on your wedding sets. Make sure you buy huge big sets, because this is the time when you can invest, and this is the time when a family already has a budget for jewelry. So make it a point to buy during that time. You can always buy smaller pieces throughout your
That
life.
is
You
true.
have your anniversaries, your birthdays, you can always buy. But wedding is a thing where you should take as big as possible, because
is
that
true.
is the time. जैसे हमारे घर में क्या कहते हैं ना, नानी दादी के इतने बड़े बड़े सेट्स जो हमें आगे पास ऑन होते हैं, it is only because they could get it made that time.
That is true.
I know you all believe that अरे लॉकर में पड़ा रहेगा तो, but that is what the charm is all about.
Yeah.
That you have that when you are seeing your wedding pictures and all of it, and it's a kind of an investment again,
is true.
which you can pass it on to your as an heirloom to your future generations.
टॉकिंग अबाउट हेirloom ज्वेलरी, एक औरत अपने जनरेशनल ज्वेलरी का इमोशनल एस्पेक्ट रख के भी उसको मॉडर्नाइज कैसे कर सकती है?
So I'm very happy, Shan, you asked this question with me, because we at Nidhi Sab Log Jewelry are very strongly running a campaign which is called Virasat, which means that we are given a lot of heirlooms which are 100-year-old, 150-year-old pieces, and we are refurbishing it without destroying it,
Okay.
without melting it.
How do you do that?
Yes, without, because they come in जैसे tarnish हुए हैं, टूटे हुए हैं. We take all those pieces and we nurture them and we revive them.
Okay.
And probably divide them in a way that so that it can be worn as a full thing also, and it can be worn as half and half also.
Okay.
So that it can be passed on from heirlooms to the newer generations. Because
Okay.
see, I believe jewelry pieces are not just jewelry pieces. Those are
Yes,
blessings.
that's true.
Those are actually energy exchanges. Those are coming from ancestors
That's
and
true.
passing on. So it's जैसे कहते हैं ना, that's why we called it virasat, because we want it to be given to new, future generations, and
That's
it's very
true.
important.
That's really true, and it does put out an emotional aspect, a really big emotional aspect of it. Like I would definitely want my future wife to get some jewelry from my mom. Sorry, mom. So from my mother,
Yeah.
and also keeping her self in the picture and keeping my mother's respects in the
Yes,
jewelry.
Yes.
Moving ahead, नवरत्न ज्वेलरी जो है वो होती क्या है?
So, Navratan is an amalgamation of 9 gemstones together.
Okay.
It can be in a form of a pendant. It can be form of a necklace. So, these 9 gemstones are ruby, that represents sun, pearl, that represents moon.
Okay.
Then there is yellow sapphire, that is Jupiter.
Okay.
Then there is blue sapphire, that is Saturn.
Okay.
Then there is red coral, that is Mars.
Okay.
Then there is okay, I've lost the count. Then there is Rahu and Ketu, which is
Okay.
represented by Gomet and Cat's Eye respectively.
Okay.
Yes. So,
So
this is the entire
solar system.
collection. Sorry?
Would you say is the entire solar system in a jewelry?
Yes, it's the entire so exactly. You gave words to my thoughts. So it's
Amazing.
like the sun or the ruby remains in the middle,
Okay.
and all the nine revolves around that. Like,
Oh,
so that's
wow.
the whole concept of the Navratna. Like all the eight revolves around.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
are there any?
So all the kings and the Rajputs started with this concept because they believed that wearing this gave them a completely different aura to their entire hierarchy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Nidhi, I asked you one question. Do you like lab grown diamonds? And you had a different reaction, and you don't even sell lab grown diamonds.
Yes.
तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि why do you not sell lab grown diamonds? What's the harm?
So, as a jeweler, I would only like to sell something what I personally wear myself. And, I have nothing against lab grown sellers, but I personally believe that a natural gemstone is a natural gemstone because the kind of energy it holds into it, because it took about million of years to create the
That is
piece
true.
it is.
That is true.
And it's like if you wear a natural diamond, again, your energy shifts to a very different, like the kind of aura you have when you carry a 5 carat natural, in comparison to if I'm wearing a 5 carat lab grown. The internal conversation I have is still that, oh, I think it's fake. I hope it's not looking fake. So I don't want to go
Anxiety.
through. I don't want to go through that kind of an experience. And I feel for me, jewelry is an emotional buy.
That's true.
People who come and ask me, should we invest in diamonds? And then I ask them, do you invest in your emotions? It's the same thing
That
as
is
that.
true. That is true.
So if you are looking for investment, then please don't buy jewelry pieces. But if you want your wife to be happy, then please gift her jewelry pieces.
That is true. That's more of an emotional investment towards your wife.
Absolutely. I mean, I strongly believe still people getting engagement rings of lab growns. I'm so sorry, but I'm not very happy with this idea.
Okay, let's move towards brides again. Many brides to be, वो एक स्ट्रगल होता है उनमें अपनी आउटफिट और ज्वेलरी को मैच करने का. हाउ
Yeah.
कैन दे ओवरकम दैट?
Again, they both are different kind of investments. Some people you will meet, they are crazy about the kind of lehenga they want to buy. And some women, when you meet them, they are only focused about the jewelry. So as an individual, it's very subjective.
That is true.
Yeah. So if they want to, like for example, I know a bride. She wanted a Manish Malhotra lehenga for her wedding. So her lehenga was fixed. So then the jewelry was a second aspect. But when you meet few brides, that they buy their wedding jewelry first, and after that they buy their lehenga. So
Okay.
it's very subjective.
Okay.
How it works. It's a
Okay.
personal choice. But I would suggest people to please, follow your passions and dreams. I mean, whatever, because I'm sure every woman has, inspired to be the most beautiful bride, and they've been planning since they were like 3, 4. So deep down dive, people know, I mean, what kind of a look they eventually want. And I think Bollywood is the biggest role play.
That is true.
That really helps you with a lot of
That is true.
ideologies.
That
I
is
mean,
true.
last 2-3 years, they've been all pastel weddings, thanks to Siddharth and
Yeah,
Kiara.
that's true. That's
Yes.
true. I love the polki. The
That's
Siddharth
what they
Varan.
have launched it in the most beautiful way.
Okay, last question to end this podcast and this conversation. An advice for the brides for storing and maintaining their jewelry which they wear on their wedding day.
Yes. So I think it's a very basic thing that please save your jewelry pieces from water, perfume, I think this is one of the most basic thing. Okay, one thing what I have experienced from my thing is that, you know, when you are out at a wedding and when you're coming back, most of the time, because our jewelry pieces are so heavy, we land to, you know, we take it out and we probably just keep it in our bags and in wallets. Please stop doing that, because that really damages your jewelry pieces. What I will advise you is probably take a paper napkin or take a cloth napkin on the wedding maybe, or while coming back in the car, and store your jewelry pieces carefully, and
Okay.
then put it back inside your bags and your wallet, so that you can, because when diamonds, they, you know, they're like, when they scratch together, so only a diamond can scratch a diamond.
That is true.
So then that's how I think you should save your jewelry pieces. Also, please do not use all these velvet boxes the jewelers are giving you. Please
Okay.
keep all your polki and diamond jewelry pieces in plastic pouches and plastic boxes, so that
Okay.
it can, you know, stay like that forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm sorry to squeeze you on with another question. A bride getting married, वो अपनी wedding day jewelry, how can she inculcate that in the post wedding functions?
Uh, like the same functions?
No, after her wedding.
After her wedding. Okay. So, you know, as a jeweler, we are doing a lot of these jewelry pieces where we are making really big pieces, but then they are divided into 3 different sets.
Okay.
And they are combined only with one chain at the back, but then they can be converted into 3 different sets.
Okay.
Also, it can be worn as a bracelet later on.
Okay.
So, these kind of new concepts, the pieces can be like, for example, if I'm wearing this brooch, so this is a pendant and also it's a brooch.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so it can be worn as both. So if I today maybe I'm carrying it as a brooch, maybe tomorrow I can just wear it as in, you know, as a pendant, maybe in a pearl string or something.
That's
So
amazing.
similarly, if I'm wearing this, so this can be combined into one as well,
Oh.
instead of 3. So
Okay.
that's the kind of concepts we as jewelers, and like, because, you know, our work is to only do bespoke jewelry pieces where we only do one jewelry piece of a kind, because, you know, every woman, I feel, is an individual human being, and they don't want somebody else wearing the same piece as them. So that's how we created with this concept, that only doing one bespoke piece for the woman that comes to me.
Okay, sorry to follow up with. I was very dwelled into the tennis chain, the stacking of the tennis chain. Explaining our viewers in a very simple manner. Layering of a jewelry or a stacking of a jewelry होती क्या है?
So, like, for example, if I'm wearing this neck piece, this is an amalgamation of 3 pieces. So
Okay.
if I was going for some other occasion where I wanted to dress up a little lesser, then I could have worn only single one. But
Okay.
because I was here and I wanted to flaunt my pieces, so probably I decided to wear all of these. So nowadays, what is happening is, like, for example, if you're wearing a choker in your neck, and you can always stack it and amalgamate with probably a emerald neck piece or a ruby neck piece if your outfit is very subtle. But
Okay.
if your outfit is already very larger than life, then probably one choker piece
Should be
with
enough.
nice ear studs should just do the thing.
That is true.
Yeah. Make sure you have beautiful cocktail pieces like as rings.
Okay.
And you, that's a very good investment to make. Yes. Because, you know, if you're just wearing a very plain outfit, and if you're just wearing like a pretty bracelet or just like one cocktail ring, and I think you're just sorted.
As a guy, I mean, I'm pretty sure one of my friend would definitely ask this, so I'm going to ask for you, him or any of my friends. Cocktail ring क्या होती है?
So
इनको उसको
cocktails-
define कैसे करते हैं?
Yes, so cocktail ring is a cluster of diamonds set together
Okay.
to amalgamate it into a pretty design,
Okay.
which is slightly more larger than life.
Okay.
It's not, so engagement rings are like tiny bands or one solitaire with a band.
Okay.
Cocktail rings are usually like a cluster of diamonds or
Okay.
gemstones put together, which is slightly over the top and like larger than life comparatively.
That was
Yeah.
amazing. So we had this lovely conversation with you, a lot about
Thank
brides,
you.
a lot about the astrological aspect, Rudraksh.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming and having this lovely
Thank you
conversation.
so much, Shan. It
This was
so nice.
lovely speaking to you.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.